The moment that started by thinking about this whole initiative took place almost 35 years ago in 1989, when I was witnessing the collapse of the Berlin Wall. And it was a moment which actually shaped a new phase in the history of our nations, but it also showed that whatever system, in this case it was Marxism, communism, could collapse in just a few weeks. So that actually was a defining moment for me.
I think the moment that shaped my worldview the most was when internet became available to everyone. The fact that the information and the access to information became so democratic, and it became possible for everyone to share their views, was something that I was so not used to. And I think it kind of, the level of disruption, but the level of opportunities also, is something that really, really changed the way I see the world.
A short sentence would be that we come from different horizons, but we serve a similar purpose. Actually, I'm about to say that what myself I don't fully get neither. It reminds me one of the sentences that I read when I was visiting the Museum of Jewish People, which starts on the third floor, and it starts with a quote of Jacques Derrida, an Algerian philosopher, who said, "Am I one of these Marranos who doesn't dare to say, even in the secret of his heart, that he is Jewish?" So I think, in a sense, there are many things that we are discovering in this journey that we don't even know ourselves.
I think probably my friends and close people don't fully get that for me it's not a project but a life.
I think we are both broken in that sense, so we don't trust in ourselves. That makes us optimistic. Okay, well, one would be like pointing, showing the way. See, like showing the way.
A big mistake is when people don't see that there is equal need for personal identity and for the feeling of belonging. A human being is a social being. We need to have our own boundaries defined and our own journey defined, but our journey and our boundaries are only defined in the interaction with the world and with the others. So not putting more weight on one than the other is what we are bringing, actually.
In a sense, to me, the belonging and identity are almost the two faces of the same coin, if I were to use this analogy, because we are very often defined in the eyes of the others, and it is through the relationship with the other that we know who we are. But at the same time, we need to be part of a group, so the concept of belonging is a source of definition of identity. So I think the two go together, and in a sense, if we look also globally, the different culture, some culture focus more on the identity, so on the identity of the individual. Some culture focus more on the collective, the belonging, and also the fact that we of course need to be who we are in order to develop our own activity, but we need also to be part of a greater group to achieve collective actions. So in my view, it's very difficult to make to distinguish one from the other. The two go together, but exactly what we say. Yeah. All new society.
Good one. To me, it will be a human being can be both man and woman, doesn't matter. It will be someone who stands strong on their principles. It will be someone who is easygoing and flexible. And it will be somebody who, when they stand, they're surrounded by people that are with them.
And if I were to add, at this stage, I think if it was a person, it would be a baby, because it was just born actually. I know it needs maybe in Africa you say you need a whole village to raise a child. So now maybe we need a whole village to raise that new baby born.